even though you're blind. Your faith can still be pitching. Welcome this week to my blind kitchen.
Welcome to my blind kitchen, the kitchen where I cook and Kathleen eats. Today we're making a Chinese style roast chicken, but I didn't have the 5 spice or the sesame oil or half the ingredients, so I'm kind of making it up. I've made my own 5 spice with secret ingredients. I'm not going to keep it secret just because it might be terrible, but it tastes really bland at worst, so it's alright, it's going to be fine. I'm going to add into this some other stuff and then baste this in that seasoning, stick it in the oven, serve it with some nice green vegetables. Just to say, this is not a guide for other blind people. Too many blind people in the kitchen is a breach of health and safety regulations. So this is just me cooking dinner just for fun, also because we need to eat. So the first thing I'm going to do is trim the ginger. That's going to go in the base of the roasting pan. I'm going to chop it up in my handy chopping machine, which is here. Just to clarify, this is called My Blind Kitchen because I'm actually blind. Not 100%, as people on the bus like to remind me on a regular basis. But I don't see very well, so now and again I will cut my finger off on this vlog, and it's fine, don't worry. I've made my own 5 spice. I've mixed it in with some oil. I'm going to put in there some lemon juice. My lemon is here. My knife is here. Always have a good knife. This is a shit knife, but that'll do for now. I'm going to add some lemon juice into that. I've also put some white pepper in and some chilli flakes because we like it hot. The white pepper is nice because it's kind of like a one-dimensional pepper, but it's got a bit more heat behind it. It's a bit more of a base pepper. You wouldn't want to put it on your salad, but it's nice in a sauce like this. So I put the lemon juice in there. I'm going to put in also some soy sauce. This is a dark soy because annoyingly the pound shop only had dark soy, then Lidl only had dark soy today. So I think that might be a market trend. So we're just going to put a wee bit because it's very strong, but it's nice. And we'll try and put a bit extra later. We'll see how it tastes once it comes out of the oven. That just tastes like soy. In addition to the ginger in my chopping machine, which is here, I'm going to put a chilli because we're not adverse to a bit of spice in our food. So I'm going to put that in there, and then the magic bit where you get to whiz it up. Where's my lid for my thing?
Here, yeah, found it.
This you can buy in Lakeland for £20, or you can get it on the internet for much cheaper. Sorry, Lakeland. The recipe that I've seen says to add this into the base of the pan, but I'm going to put it straight into this marinade here. And then I'm going to mix up a wee bit of extra ginger to put in the base of the pan. I'm just going to cut some up. But I think that's much nicer spread over the chicken rather than just waiting to burn to the bottom of the roasting pan.
Have you ever made this recipe before?
No, I've made it up. This is my own recipe. Stolen, I've kind of went through little bits of recipes on the internet, stolen what I thought were maybe the good looking bits, binned off the bits, actually to be fair that looked good, but which I also just did not have the stuff in the cupboard. If this works out, then I invented this recipe. If this doesn't work out, then it's the internet's fault. So, chop this up. I'm going to stick that underneath the chicken, which is just behind me here. This is the condemned bird. Sorry bird. It is at room temperature. Don't cook a bird from cold because may not cook properly, and then you'll get horribly ill, which vegans will tell you is your own fault. What I'm going to do is incredibly gross. I hate this bit. It's like the downside of cooking a raw chicken, but you have to get your hands on the bird.
Do you like getting your hands on birds?
I'm a bit squeamish about touching raw poultry, but I guess that's kind of what you have to deal with if you're going to eat it. And what I'm also going to do, this is really gross, is I'm going to just pull up the skin here and just force some of that down its neck. So that is the bird all rubbed up. You should wash your hands so don't get ill. And then this is the nicer bit. So this bit is nice for us, less nice for the chicken, although it's dead so it's fine. We're going to shove half a ball of garlic inside the cavity. We're going to put half a lemon in it. Where's my lemon? Lemon. And I'm going to put these green bits from the spring onions inside the chicken. Like this. It's not very dignified for the chicken, but I've experienced worse on a Friday night in the town, so it'll be fine. That is basically now ready to go into the oven. The oven is preheating and I think it's just a bit there. So I'm going to put some salt on the top of that. I'm not going to cover it with foil because I want it to go nice and crispy. If I look at it halfway through it's not going crispy enough or it's not cooking quick enough, I might stick some foil on it, but it should be fine.
Can you tell us a joke?
What did the cheese say when it looked in the mirror?
I have no idea. I've never heard that before, so I don't know. Tell me.
Halloumi.
Aha.
Alright. Okay. So this will go in the oven for about an hour at 180. Hello. And that's preheated. And then we're going to start on our green vegetables, which are here. Also a little special. Some asparagus tips and some green beans. And just to be word of warning, try not to break your tip. That's deeply sad. Keep them in one piece. Don't know what's happening here.
Okay.
The oven's trying to tell me a story. I think the story is it's preheated. It's in the oven. We're going to leave that for 1 hour and drink some beer and wine in the meantime. Welcome back to my blind kitchen. We have almost cooked the bird, but not quite. It's been in the oven for about an hour, and in that time I have turned the tray around 3 times. Is that right, Kathleen?
3 times.
3 times, and I covered it with a wee bit of foil about 10 minutes ago, so it was starting to get a wee bit too crispy on the top, which is fine if you like it crispy, but I didn't want it to burn the arse off the bird.
Who's your favourite celebrity chef?
Fucking hell. Favourite celebrity chef is probably...
Is it Nigella?
I love Nigella, as you know. Nigella's one of my favourites. I think she's great at getting very tasty food without too much fucking about. So I like her. Anyway, I think Nigella would like this. So the chicken is halfway cooked. Excuse me, I dropped my tea towel. I'm gonna try and show you the bird here without spilling it everywhere. So that's the bird kinda there, it's nice and crispy, it's nicely seasoned. I'm gonna pop that down on the hob so it doesn't burn everything. And I'm just gonna chop up some spring onions, quite roughly, not too much. I'm gonna stick them around the bird, just willy-nilly, because I'm casual like that. And I think I'm also going to put, this is up to personal taste, but I'm going to put some fish sauce because I have some fish sauce. So I'm going to add some of that in, just a tiny amount. Don't fishify your chicken too much. And I'm going to add in, I'm going to taste it first. It's nice. We're going to add in just a wee bit more soy sauce. It's up to you. Keep tasting your food to see how you like it. Especially if you are a fellow blind person, then maybe how it looks gives you no indication of how it's actually going to taste. Put it in for another half an hour on the same temperature, and try not to eat it before then because it's kind of still raw, but it's really tasty. I'm taking the chicken out. I've tried it a couple of times in the break and it's really nice, it's really tasty. And also what I did during the cooking a couple of times, which I didn't film, was I opened the oven door and just tipped some of the juices out of the cavity so they went into the roasting pan. What some recipes that I saw suggested during this stage was to make a gravy with this juice and this sauce. In my opinion, if you're blind, that's a fuck about and too much work, so we're not going to do that. This in itself is nice enough, so if you can't make a gravy, don't worry, we're just going to pour this onto the food. But in the meantime, we have to take this chicken over here, I'm going to do it now, let it rest a while, it's had a hard night as well, so I'm going to let it rest. There we go. And we're going to get our veggies on. So I'm going to leave that there, pop this over it, keep it warm. And you probably can't see from that angle, but on my stove I've got a pan of almost boiling water. So I'm going to stick my green vegetables in there. Finally, on my blind kitchen, the burger's ready. The veggies actually, well, should ignore the heat. Should be ready as well, and they're going to be nice and al dente. I'm going to drain them like that. I'm going to plate up. Okay, I can hardly cut this chicken.
Okay.
But what I want to happen is you're going to come over here and taste a wee bit of the skin. Really nice.
Mmm. That was really good.
Yeah. Okay, so would you like a breast? And what I'm also going to do is go back into the oven, get some of the really nice sauce. A wee bit of the lemon on there, some of the green. I also want to get some of the skin on there. Just going to nab some of there. Amazing! Thankfully, that wasn't a total disaster. That was actually really nice. I'm not going to post the recipe because I think that was ad hoc enough that you can follow it.
What's the recipe called?
It's called Jack's Faux Chinese Respectful Delight.
And what are we going to be making next time?
We're going to make next time a really nice vegan dish. We've not decided which one yet. We've got lots of vegan pals and we've got lots of vegan recipes. But it'll be a nice vegan recipe, so tune in if you like that kind of thing. Even if you don't identify as a vegan, you can still be welcome to the party.
Even though you're blind.